Coming up on the ZTV Sports Report, we'll catch you up to date with both men's and women's soccer teams, along with the football team. We also have an interview with members of the noisiest student section in Northeast Ohio. Everyone get excited because the ZTV Sports Report starts right now. Welcome to a brand new season of ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Zips athletics. I'm your host, Zach Fuller. We have a great show planned for you today to get everyone to catch up with what has been going on in the world of Akron sports. First up, football. The Zips opened up their first game of the season against a top-ranked team in Penn State. Unfortunately, the reigning Big Ten champions proved to be too much for the Zips, generating over 569 total yards of offense. 322 of those yards were in the air, while 247 were on the ground. The game would end up with a score of 52-0 in favor of Penn State. The Zips would then hope to bounce back with their home opener against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Unlike the Penn State game, the flow of the game was completely controlled by the Zips. Akron's quarterback Thomas Woodson would lead the team, completing 15 of 21 passes for 166 yards and a touchdown. Running back Warren Ball would rush for 146 yards on 20 carries. Linebacker Ulysses Gilbert III would lead Akron's defense with 10 tackles, including an interception which he took to the house for a touchdown. Akron's total offense recorded 464 yards, while their defense would hold the Golden Lions to a mere 168 yards. The Zips would win the game 52-3. Following the game, Gilbert would be awarded the Mid-American Conference Defensive Player of the Week for the East Division. We're going to take our first commercial break, but before we do, let's take a look at the highlights from the Akron-Iowa State game. It was Jason Taylor Day on Saturday, September 16th, as the Akron Zips took on the Iowa State Cyclones, the Zips' largest home game since 2015 when they hosted the University of Pittsburgh. They even had the third largest crowd in InfoCision Stadium history of 22,811 fans. Iowa State would score early and often as the Zips offense stalled, first with this touchdown pass. On the next drive, Zips linebacker number 10 Brian Bell makes a beautiful play to keep the running back out of the end zone. That's how you lay the wood. However, on the next play, Warren would find the end zone, putting the Cyclones up 14-0. The Zips' big problem was not being able to protect Woodson and not being able to recover fumbles. Iowa State fumbled and recovered their own fumbles 3 times in the first half. Next series, however, Woodson would go 3 for 3 and would cap off the drive with this beautiful streak to number 3, Quadarius Smith, for the 45-yard bomb. Then the Zips would tack on the extra point. Iowa State would get a field goal on the next drive and then fumble! The Zips would have 3 turnovers total on the day, this one leading to another field goal for the Cyclones. A Warren Ball touchdown would then leave the score 20-14 Cyclones at the half. Second half now, and the Zips would try to go for it on 4th down after the drop. A costly false start would force them to punt. As the Zips tried to climb back into this game, Woodson would throw an interception that would lead the Cyclones to great field position. Then, on the next play, this hit by Zips number 1, Alvin Davis, which led to his ejection for targeting due to the hit to the helmet, would set them up in even better field position. Let's take a look at this hit one more time. Then on the next play, Mike Warren would find the end zone for the Cyclones. Cato Nelson would eventually come in for the Zips and would get picked off to end the game as the Zips tried to have one last drive in them to put some points on the board. The Zips played a great game, but just had a few costly mistakes that the Cyclones capitalized on, as Woodson would go 25 of 40 for over 250 yards through the air and a touchdown. The Zips would fall 41-14 and are away at Troy for their next game on Saturday, September 23rd.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome to the ZTV Sports Report.
Your home for everything Akron Zips athletics.
We keep you updated on your favorite Akron Zips teams.
From basketball, football, soccer, and much more.
Make sure to check us out on 45-1 at the listed times.
Also, follow our social media accounts on Facebook and Twitter.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
You're watching ZTV.
Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report. Let's jump right into men's soccer. The men's soccer team faced some early losses in their campaign, losing 1-0 against both Utah Valley and the University of Denver. The Zips would, however, bounce back in their home opener against Washington. Forward Scott Holthusen would open the Zips tally with a goal in the 31st minute, and fellow Zip forward Sam Gainford would score in the 62nd minute of the match. The heart of the defense, keeper Ben Lunt, would have two key saves to keep his first clean sheet of the season with the score Akron 2, Washington 0. The team would then travel to beautiful Santa Barbara and secure a win 3-1 and follow that victory up with a win against St. Louis, making Akron's record 3-2. Moving on over to the women's soccer team. The Zips would start off well with a home victory over Wisconsin Green Bay Phoenix, 3-0. However, the team would lose both games in the Loyola tournament and then go on to lose 3 back-to-back-to-back games against Cleveland State, Niagara, and Dayton. Akron's latest game would be against Duquesne University, and lucky for you, we have the highlights.
On September 15th, the University of Akron women's soccer team faced off against Duquesne. Akron would be looking for their first win since last August, losing 3 consecutive matches back-to-back-to-back. The current record would be 1-5-1 going into the game. It would be a back-and-forth match for Akron, both teams equally sharing the possession of the ball. Giamatti would have 4 saves in the first half, keeping the Zips backline locked down. It would continue to be a back-and-forth match in the first half until the sound of the whistle, ending the first half 0-0. The second half would be more of the same until the 60th minute, where Duquesne's Katie O'Connor would score on the right side of the penalty box. Akron would try to come back from the deficit, but Duquesne would do enough to hold on to the lead, ending the match 1-0 for Duquesne. The L would mark Akron's 4th consecutive loss of the season. Akron would hope to break their losing record on September the 22nd when they face off against the Northern Illinois Huskies at home. Akron Zips head coach would give her thoughts on the game.
Yeah, obviously we're disappointed with the result, but they worked hard and You know, it wasn't our greatest performance of the season. You know, we played much better the other night against Dayton, but you know, still a competitive game before we get ready for the MAC. You know, we're still trying to blend in some of these freshmen. We looked at a couple of new things tonight, and you know, so they worked hard, but weren't quite good enough tonight. It's as simple as that.
The loss would make Akron's record 1-6-1 for the season. It's time for us to take our last commercial break, but before we leave, here are the next upcoming fixtures for your University of Akron athletics teams.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome to the ZTV Sports Report.
Your home for everything Akron Zips athletics.
We keep you updated on your favorite Akron Zips teams.
From basketball, football, soccer, and much more.
Make sure to check us out on 45-1 at the listed times.
Also, follow our social media accounts on Facebook and Twitter.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Birthday. Tonight, I need
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? It may be too late to check when you're on the road. Fortunately, you're on the couch. Don't think you know. Know you know.
You're watching ZTV.
Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report. Our last feature for you on today's show is about a student organization that was created in 2005 and has been rowdy ever since. Take a look at our interview with two members from the Noisy Bunch.
Since 2005, the AK-Rowdies have been a force to be reckoned with when it comes to Zips athletics. Whether it's pestering the goalie at a soccer game or gathering up fans for a road trip to an away game, their presence can never be missed. I had the opportunity to sit down with the president, Mike Osborne, and treasurer Isaac Lampner to discuss the energy of this passionate organization.
So the AK-Rowdies are the largest group on campus. We're at about 1,000 members, and we are somewhere in between a student section mixed with supporters union, mixed with soccer hooligans. Everyone kind of has their own definition. I like soccer hooligan.
For me, the Rowdies are really a big part of what creates the campus culture here. You know, it's a long-standing tradition with Akron Athletic.
We've done a fair amount of traveling in our time and during the year. Past examples include Kansas City, North Carolina. A couple weeks ago we went to Penn State. We have plans this year to go to OU, Buffalo, and Pitt. Also a great reason to join is, unlike a lot of student organizations that have meetings you have to attend, things you have to do, you can do as much or as little as you want with the AK-Rowdies.
You can feel the excitement as Mike elaborates on the various traditions of the AK-Rowdies, along with his most meaningful experience as a rowdy himself.
For soccer, which is, Akron has a great soccer history and a great soccer tradition, we do a whole bunch of different things, marches to the match, where we cheer on our soccer team as they're getting over there. We have chants that we do as the game goes. Certain ones we do at certain times, and probably my favorite is the I Believe at the end of the game, where when we win the game, all the soccer players come over, we form a little pouch at the hill. It's 400 students and then the soccer team, and then being the president, I get to lead them in the I Believe, which it still gives me goosebumps no matter how many times I do it. When I was a freshman, it's the MAC tournament, MAC championship, something Akron has not lost in over a decade, and we're playing Bowling Green, and Bowling Green scores first, that's not what you want to happen. It's hard to come back from that, especially in soccer. And we'd been giving the goalie a fair amount of lip the whole time, and he turns back to us and he goes, "Huh, that's weird." And the Rowdies, 400 students, just went off on him and started yelling at him. And then within 30 seconds, Akron scores 3 goals in a row. The goalie falls on his face almost every time, and we just start chanting, "Huh, that's weird." It was a lot of pride in that one moment. We won the MAC championship. You could really see the Rowdies affecting that player, so it kind of made me feel like I was part of the game and I affected the outcome, even if it was in a minor way. And that's kind of what got me on board and kind of kept me going through the Rowdies.
Mike proudly explains how the rowdy reputation extends beyond Akron's campus and how unique the organization is compared to other universities.
Players and coaches are afraid to come to Akron because we do our research on them, we know things about them, we know what to chant. So players that have been, and coaches that have been around the MAC for a while, they kind of dread coming to Akron because they hate having to listen to the AK-Rowdies the whole game. Every school to some extent has a student section, but a lot of them are very informal. A lot of them are you just come stand in a certain place at the stadium. The AK-Rowdies are different because we're a student organization. We have a leadership structure. We do things outside of the game, the tailgates, the pre-events, the marches to the match. We also do a lot of different philanthropic events. So we've raised thousands of dollars for the Akron Canned Food Bank over the past couple years, doing canned food drives with rival student sections. That's kind of an X factor, that it's beyond sports, and it increases pride in the university and the AK-Rowdies without being like just people standing in a section during the game.
That concludes the show for today, but before we go, make sure to check us out on Facebook, hit the follow button on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page at ZTV Sports Report. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Zips athletics.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.